Beautiful beings, this is probably the most important message you're going to hear this year, especially if you're into manifesting, so listen up. I'm a shamanic practitioner who specializes in shadow work, and I have some key divine information for you. So if your soul desires something, there is a conscious way to feel that desire, and there's an unconscious way to feel that desire. And both play out in this world because this is a world of duality. So I'm going to give you the example of a soul desiring freedom, as this is something that's personal for me. So my soul desires freedom. And so consciously, it tries to fill this desire by wanting financial freedom, by wanting a partner who can hold divine loving space to witness all that I am. It wants that safety and security that's holding me so I can dance and be free and do whatever it is I want. So that's my conscious desires. However, my unconscious desires, okay, the shadow realm, doesn't give a shit how I get there as long as I get that freedom in order to fill my soul desire. So my unconscious shadowy realm has created and manifested traumatic events in my life by having partners betray me, by taking money from me and living in very, very low income circumstances, by ripping partners away from me and friendships away from me. And this is how it has played out. So while my conscious self has felt a lot of pain and trauma from these experiences, my shadow self has felt pleasure. Because my shadow self felt a sense of freedom from ripping myself energetically from these people, from ripping myself energetically from the weight of money. It felt that freedom was total detachment from everything. And I received these visions of my shadow self being in the middle of the jungle, ripping my skin off and just letting it all go and wanting to get rid of all this energetic weight. So that is how she felt. So those are two different realities that I'm creating for myself. One is the conscious realm that's holding space, having money and a beautiful partner, and the other part is having none of that. So the key component to this shadow work is, of course, first really noticing and holding space for my shadow without any judgment or shame, but also to feel the joy and pleasure that it felt from those traumatic events in my life. Now, I know that sounds incredibly fucked up, but the shadow realm and my soul included, it doesn't decipher, it doesn't judge between good and evil, right and wrong. So repressing this pleasure and joy I felt from these traumatic events that, of course, consciously I was feeling a lot of pain from, repressing that underlying layer of joy actually gives it more power, and it allows my shadow to be more the master. It allows my shadow to create more of these events in my life. And so instead, fully witnessing it with divine loving presence and allowing that orgasmic pleasure and joy to move through my body from all those very painful things I've consciously experienced, allowing that to move through my body allows the shadow to be seen and felt and heard, and it brings a bit of light to that situation. So if you know the yin yang symbol, there's a little bit of darkness in the light and a little bit of light in the darkness. It's bringing light, it's bringing consciousness to this shadow and bringing it into unity. And so after I spent however long I needed to feel all that pleasure from my fucked up experiences, I then spoke to my shadow and I was like, okay, girl, I hear you that you want freedom. I get it. But what if, just hear me out, wouldn't you feel more pleasure, more ecstasy if you were held with unlimited money and by a divine loving partner who can witness you? Wouldn't that feel more pleasurable? You would be even more free because the energetics are not weighing on you, but rather they're lifting you up and holding you so you can fully surrender and fully embrace life and be fully penetrated by all that life is. And my shadow was like, fuck yeah. And I started to feel more orgasmic, more pleasure run through my body during this shadow work. And that's when I really felt like there was a sacred union. There was a sacred union of my freedom. So I was able to bring the conscious and the unconscious together in that beautiful yin yang symbol to make love so that I can create and manifest the life I want. Now, this is just one aspect. There are so many beautiful shadows in us, and our soul has so many different desires. So if you are interested to learn more about this, I definitely recommend the book where this inspiration comes from, called Existential Kink. But if you also want guidance, then I am here for you. I'm a shamanic practitioner who specializes in this, so you can book a one-on-one with me. And I'm also about to release an online workshop course all about shadow work and going into the underworld and diving deeper into this, because I really believe if you do not own your shadows, they will own you. And it's all about creating unity in oneself to fully love yourself and to fully embrace all that you are. And that is how you will live your most magical, beautiful, divine life. Much love, brothers, sisters, they, I hope this was in service to you.